Alright, this is Andrew with Jordan Home Inspection. We're here at 2759 South 700 East. We have the camera pushed out 114 feet. We're not yet to the city connection, but I've got it pushed out as far as I can get it. Now we're going to pull it back and see what we find. So this is transite pipe. This is not uncommon for the age. Notice a little bit of waste going down the line. I noticed this line has a flat spot, and we're going to go through that as we get closer to the house. I think I probably dislodged a lot of the waste that was stuck in that flat spot, and now that's what we're seeing getting washed down the line. You always want everything to go on its own with gravity. You don't want it getting stuck in the line. So this looks like an access point here. This is part of the reason why I couldn't get all the way out to the city connection. Once I went through this spot here, it got real difficult to push it any further. As you can tell, cast iron gets real rough and rusty. Eventually it will need to be replaced. Looks like you have a little bit of a flat spot here where water's just settling and pooling. That's where waste can collect, grease can settle, and that makes it real sticky. And so never ideal to have any sort of a flat spot or standing water, because it can lead to backup. Transite is cement asbestos, and so if you do need to have it removed, that can add to the expense since it can have asbestos in it. I'm paying attention to these joints, looking for any sort of an offset. Really haven't seen any offsets yet. I didn't find an access inside the house, and I didn't find a roof stack here. Typically a roof or any house will have a plumbing stack or a plumbing vent. Imagine a straw where if you have your finger over the top of the straw, it won't drain very well or at all. I don't know how this house is being vented, but you want at least one vent that goes up through the roof, and that's something that you could have a plumber add. For the most part, looks like you have good grade. So this line here was a little bit of a question. So this is in some ways similar to how it looks when you drop into a city line, but we're only 20 feet out from the back of the house. And so if this is the city line that we had been dropped into, that would mean that the city line runs through the backyard. I would get the map from the city and find out where your sewer line runs to. If it is only 20 feet out, that's great because you have less line to worry about. It's also possible that maybe you're tied in with the neighbors. This age of a house, sometimes you would have shared lines, and that would not be good because with shared lines you generally cannot get insurance, at least not traditional insurance with HomeServe. They don't insure shared lines. I would recommend getting insurance on this line since it is older, but I would find out from the city. I'd get the map. Quite a bit of roots here. I note that it's really starting to close in on the line. I would recommend having this line hydro-jetted, where they blast out all those roots, and that would prevent a blockage where it backs up into the house. And then a little bit of cast iron here. There's a good chance you have cast iron under the house as well. I had to go through the backyard since that was the only access point that I could find. I always try to go from inside the house, but I need an access point to be able to do it. And the benefit of that is that we would be able to see what's under the house and not what's just outside. I'm going to end this recording now.